All right. Thank you, family, for joining us this evening. As we know, we are on our Facts Over Feelings podcast on our 15th episode. Episode 15. Wow, I didn't even realize it was that many episodes. But I guess when you love what you do, it really don't matter. And you don't look at things like that. But 15th episode, I can't believe it.
Without your boy.
What? Right. And without the resident clown.
Oh, God.
He wasn't coming today.
Right.
The numbers got right. Standing on it right. And no, he scoped.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's in the air. Right. In my head.
this cat, man. Boy, that's yeah. I wish he was here. I really do. But okay. We're gonna move on.
You have some explaining to do.
right. You got some
Because
planning
man,
to
that
do.
math and did math.
Because he told us the jobs was forthcoming, right?
He didn't want that smoke today.
He definitely did.
That's why I was like,
He dodged it. But today in studio we have Mr. Stacy Smiter, again, fellow alumni of Madison, class of 04, baby.
Oh, folks,
We in the
baby,
house.
let's go,
We in
let's
the
go.
house. Yes, sir. 85. Got to be alive. And we have with us, who's just brought so much gravitas to our studio this evening, is Miss Michelle Bryan of WNOV. Say something real.
what's happening, family?
Yes. Hey, I am great. I just still can't get over the fact that you are here on my show
I appreciate
with me.
the support.
You are a celebrity in my eyes, and the fact that you just
Yeah.
came in was like, hey, you know what?
I'm
Yeah, I'm
with it.
down. I'm like, what? Okay, yeah. So that means the world to me that you were here.
Say close mouth, don't get fed.
That's true. That's
Absolutely.
true.
Surprising what people do.
Yes, that's so
It's
true.
always a pleasure.
That's
to
so
have you
true.
here.
Yeah, definitely.
Staple in the community.
She
One of
is.
my favorite stations.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I grew up in that area.
Yes.
Right off the 12th and Ring. Burleigh. So, you know.
Yeah, we stayed off in 19th and Nash for over 10 years, right around the corner from y'all,
Man.
from the station. I grew up on 24th and Capitol. So yeah, it is.
That's
Doctor's office.
Yeah,
But it meant to be over there. That
Yeah.
area part of like Blackfish Bay.
yeah, yeah. I like that. Yeah. Uh-huh.
That area.
Uh-huh.
Lena's used to be right there.
Oh yeah.
It was
Yeah.
cold
The
first.
grocery store.
Oh, it cold, yeah. It was cold.
We,
Yeah.
my grandmother had a house.
Yeah.
He still lives
Oh,
over there.
yep, it was
It
cold.
was cold.
first.
And all these right
And
across.
before the check cashing place was right there. Oh, I forgot what was right there before the check cashing.
Yeah, I forgot what was there.
But
That
it was
check cashing
something
place
else
been there
before
for a
the check
minute.
Cashing place was right there.
Yeah.
Was right there.
Oh, somebody
I've been
said, is
over there all
your
the time.
mic on, Michelle? I think it is. I believe it's on. Can you hear everything, Tay?
We good?
My engineer say we good. Miss Barbara,
better?
Oh, Barbara's on there.
Barbara's on there.
Hey,
Yes,
Miss
and your
Barbara, how
mic
you
is
doing
on.
today? Look, I'll move it a little closer. Let me see.
I turned it up some more.
Okay.
Because I turned it down from I think I just when your boy here. he be over there.
Yeah.
Look,
Because everybody be like,
technical,
why you
technical,
so
technical control.
Right.
That's his mic, matter of fact.
Oh, you know what?
You might want to get you another mic.
No, maybe she's gonna bless it. Maybe help him out.
You might get to acting crazy.
About to get
Just
sick up in
hear it is on that mic. or something.
It's Travis Michael about to get sick up in here.
No, just like when Meech called the station and messed with you in the morning. Meech does his.
Man, I already was on Al Sharpton today cutting up. I got a couple of text messages like, Al tearing your boy up. I was like, what? So I got to go back and listen.
And then,
But I
He
heard
done got on the Rev show.
Oh, he'd been on there before.
Clown.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have like quite a few listeners in the Milwaukee market that call Sharpton Show.
Wow. Okay.
And
I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
so
Okay.
Meech was on there today, and I got text messages. I was in a meeting, but I looked down. There's like your boy getting handled on Sharpton right
That's the
now.
one you want to go against.
Couldn't happen to a
Ain't
better
the one-
brother.
Right.
Couldn't happen. He
Right.
crazy.
He called you talking crazy the other day. You know, you had his phone shut off. You crack him. You say, "Shut it off! Shut it off!"
That's what everybody said. I sound like Big Mama. I was like, oh, they was ripping me this morning as soon as I hit the studio. But
Wait, you asked him to shut it off?
well, no. So we were talking about Trump, And I was talking about how Donald Trump had disrespected Yamisha Alcindor,
Oh,
black female reporter,
Right.
always just
tells her, you know, you don't listen, you need to
Yeah,
stop.
the way he was talking
And
to her.
then told her she was second rate. That's
Second
why you're
rate.
second rate. And so Meech called into the station and he was like, yeah, you know, but that's one of the reasons why I like him, because, you know, he say what he thinking. And then I said, so I just want to be clear. You like that he disrespected the sister and called her second rate. You like that he said that women, you know's performance at work is tied to their menstrual cycle. And I just went through all these, you know, outrageously vulgar things. This is what you're telling me you like. And then I was like, I just didn't want to hear it no more. So I was like, man, turn it off.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
You
Jermaine
ain't
was
been that
saying-
calm. You
Yeah,
ain't said-
well, I did it first. I said, turn it off. So
I mean,
then
her some of it's just straight stupidity.
Right.
Like, and it
it's
needs to
like,
be
you know
shared.
what? I don't even want to even
Yeah.
And what was so crazy is because I had just got done complimenting Yamisha Alcindor
Right.
because, like, you know, you always put yourself in that moment.
Yeah.
Because I always say, don't
Right,
never
me.
be me.
Because I
I
hear
said
it,
all the
certain
time.
jobs I can't have because I'll be
Exactly.
fired. I will be fired. You not think you ain't about to sit. I don't care if you are the president.
That
You not
is
about
the
to sit
sentiment.
there
But
and
look,
disrespect
But
me
this
like
the
that.
thing, though.
Am I saying?
Somebody got to stay in the room.
Right.
Somebody,
Right.
because so many black reporters have been run off, excluded.
Yes.
You know, the media won't
Yes.
even send them because they know how Trump gonna handle them. Yamisha Alcindor has been one of them sisters that's been able
She's
to
been
stay
steady, yep.
stay the course, and so she
Yes.
stays calm under pressure.
Mhm.
And you know, so I'm like, man,
Oh,
I would have like, hold on, sir. Now what we not gonna do is disrespect me. You know, damn who you are. Like that would have been the first thing in my mouth. So you know, so that's how it comes up, and we talking about it. But I just couldn't get over that this brother,
Well,
like,
condone
you
that. It's a
regurg-
lot of men, a lot of brothers that's out here that think
did you hear what he just said about
Crazy,
domestic
man.
violence? They
Yeah.
replayed this clip
That it shouldn't be.
of him talking about domestic violence. And he was like, you know, I
Excusable.
mean, it's getting lumped in because he's upset that domestic violence is getting lumped in with crime stats. And so he was saying it's not real crime, basically.
Well, how?
And it's just a little husband and a
Also,
wife.
That black
having-
eye.
Uh-uh.
the busted
It's a
lip.
husband and a wife having a fight.
A little
And
fight.
It's a little fight. You're right, a little fight. And you know, and the wifey is doing whatever. I mean, he completely downplayed the issue of domestic violence.
That's because he was charged with some of it.
And you sitting there
Yeah.
like, are you
When you're
serious
in
right
it,
now?
You don't
Yeah,
see
we
it
are.
as
Like
that way.
this man does
You're
not
trying to
even
justify.
understand the basics. Like,
that's the sad
dude,
part.
you don't even have the appearance of being presidential.
No, at all.
But do y'all know
None.
them be the main ones that wouldn't even say nothing to a man in return? The ones who have that type of thought
Mhm.
process, like
Mhm.
the way that he was downplaying it, it's like, hey, you know, I experienced that growing up, seeing it firsthand,
Hey,
and it's
Mhm.
like, yo, that wasn't no.
it hit a
I mean, it
nerve.
shows you how I think
No,
with women.
just a-
Anyway, I mean,
Completely.
the access tape said it all right there.
Right? No, don't
You
get
know,
me
that
wrong. Some
tells you right there.
you know, me, I don't condone anybody. If we got to go to them extremes where you swinging on me, I'm swinging on you. We just need to leave each other alone, because it's like that's not love to me. That ain't no marriage. That ain't to me what I consider as what we're supposed to be doing to show my love and affection. How I'm showing you love and affection.
So with
Like,
him
I-
with him doing that and trying to like minimize like these, we're basically trying to deflect and get everything off of him. I think it's
Deflect.
super important for everyone to be in tune with their district reps and
Right.
you know how they
and
see how they view things,
man,
because they're
if they see
viewing
that
they're
type of
I said
representing you.
today,
And that
elections have consequences.
Yeah.
right.
great
I can-
segue. Great segue.
Elections have consequences.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we got some
And-
of them that think like,
Yep. And today's subject, as you see, is what have your district reps done for you lately? And I think it's very important that we talk about these kind of issues, especially with our local elections, because people don't vote the way they should. And I mean, in numbers, you can vote Republican, Democrat, and Independent, however you go. But it's the voter turnout, which is sad.
Mhm.
And we wonder why our
9%.
communities are the way they are.
Last election, it was only 9% of
See,
Milwaukee
that's-
that voted. And you looked at those ballots, it wasn't no,
So, but wait, you got to be talking about like, because you couldn't be talking about the presidential.
yeah, no.
No, not
no,
not the presidential. So
not the
maybe
presidential, but in the
spring
local- in the
election.
Spring
Spring
election,
election.
in the
Okay,
election
maybe.
that I ran in, only
Okay.
9% of Milwaukee residents voted in that election.
That year.
our local.
Because one of the things that we know, and look, I'll let you finish your setup. So, we know where you're going.
Yeah. And we just wanted to, I just want to say, we just want to discuss that because I just really think it's incumbent upon us as a community to understand that process and understand that our local elected officials have a lot to do with the way our communities are. And I think we let a lot of them get off the hook because we're looking at the federal level and saying, oh, well, the president should be doing this and this president's charge of this, when it's really more so your alderman, state rep, state senator, calling down to the city. Ever since I done bought and been a homeowner, they should have my number on speed dial or something. When I call them about everything. Because that's what you should do. I'm a tax-paying citizen, and if I'm named right, I'm calling down there like they still ain't gave me my garbage can. I got to call y'all back. Where's my garbage can? Things like that. 'Cause I pay for the garbage can. I pay.
Well, I mean, even knowing who to
$20.
call,
even on
$20.
Yeah.
you pay $20 you pay for a can.
Yeah.
Oh, you give me my can.
But it's a
my
lot
can.
of renters
You
as
give me that
well.
can.
You don't just have to be only a homeowner to hold your
Yeah, I'm a
district
renter. So
representative.
yeah, I'm a renter.
They
I'm
represent
about,
homeowners, renters,
Mhm.
homeless, you name it. That's
Yeah.
what they're
Yeah.
as people
Everybody.
say, I represent you whether you voted for me or not,
Right.
whether
Right.
you are a taxpayer or not, because not everybody is quote unquote a taxpayer.
Mhm.
We legitimately have some people that are unhoused, unemployed, no SSI. They don't generate any dollars whatsoever. Well, they may still get some money and buy something in the store, and
Right.
indirectly
They pay
you receive
tax,
some
yeah.
taxes. But your job is, once you accept that role in that position, you there to do the job
Right.
for everybody. But the big, one thing we always talk to our community about is making sure our folks understand the levels of power.
Mhm.
Who do you go to? Which level of government is your concern supposed to be addressed at?
Correct.
And what does that look like? And then even the legislators that go above and beyond.
Mhm.
I was just telling somebody, we have gone to school. When I worked for then Senator Taylor, parents would have problems at schools. Like, my child is being discriminated against at school. Parents would call the Senate office.
Mhm.
And Lena would say, call school, give me a meeting with the principal.
Mhm.
There are many legislators that don't see that as their role.
Like,
But it is.
But it is.
And it's
But it
also
is.
it's the yes and a no, because can the state actually impact? Do we make obviously decisions about education, but that's a pretty personal situation.
Mhm.
But what we understood in our office is that there are so few people that feel like they have access to somebody that can influence the outcome.
Move that needle for them.
There you go. Say put it plain.
Mhm.
And so, to
we
be
all
able to
should.
say, "Oh, I got the state senator coming to the meeting with me,"
Mhm.
and the way the school responds, which is very different,
Oh, of
Yeah.
course.
Oh,
It's-
definitely.
of
very
course.
different,
You got who?
very
Oh,
different.
They straighten up,
You
fix
know,
their
yeah,
tie. But just a couple hours ago, you had your shirt all loose, talking reckless to me.
You didn't
Oh,
care how
yeah.
you came to me.
Oh,
So even trying to tell people to think about using legislators in unconventional ways too.
Mhm.
Everything from writing. We did everything from writing recommendations for scholarships to visiting. I went on field trips with some kids
Mhm.
because they was like, "We're doing X, Y, and Z." Miss Michelle, can the senator come? Well, let me check her schedule.
Right. If her schedule
Yeah,
is
she go.
why not?
There
In the
you
position
go.
of,
But I'm glad you
these
said
positions are a position of servitude. So
Correct.
Yeah.
you are in service to your people, whether
Yeah.
it's you in service to them on a party mode or whether you on it on a school field trip. To me, that shows that you are what you saying you are. You are for the people. Because I remember those. I even remember when Mike McGee Jr. was alderman of our district. He would literally, when I was in the clubs and promoting club events, he would pop up in your spot. He wouldn't even tell you he coming. He would just come. He wouldn't come in there to drink. He wouldn't do anything. Oh, I'm just seeing what y'all doing in here. Seeing if y'all following the rules.
Mm.
That type of impact, because that made the bars have to do what they needed to do. I use that as an example because to most people, why he in there doing that? That ain't his job. In reality,
But it
It
is.
is.
That
It is.
facility is in your district.
it's
Correct.
a business in your district. And to me, I'm a firm believer as a manager of a district. I want to see what's going on. How can I
It's your business
figure
to
out
know.
anything?
It's your business to know. And people are depending on you knowing. They are depending on you doing those walkthroughs, ride-throughs, drive-throughs. You know, they're depending on real office hours. I get real frustrated when people barely hold a town hall or they hold it for such an extremely short period of time. It's like, so if I can't be here in this tiny little window, then I'm going to miss it.
I'm
You are-
You know, well, you can catch me next
you got
month.
a town hall
It's
for
the
an
same
hour and a
situation
half,
next month.
and I ain't gonna
You
see you
know,
for another 29 days.
And but then you get frustrated because you're like, oh, you only holding a town hall, a district meeting for an hour, but then you realize it's some people not holding district meetings at all.
Mhm.
You know, I remember for a long time, Lena was the only legislator that had a district office. But we get money in our budgets to do that, at least at the Senate level.
Mhm.
You could pay to have a district office. People wouldn't do it.
So who goes around and makes sure those things are done like that? Like some type of checklist of some sort.
What do you mean?
Who's supposed to oversee that to make sure if that's within the budget?
But
who's
you
the-
don't have to do it. It's up to you.
It's up to
So it's
you.
optional.
Yeah, it's optional. And she used a portion of her budget to pay for a district office, but it's optional. You don't have to do that. And so
I guess what do you have to do? What is it?
you
that-
have to go to committee, and I'm speaking now at the Senate level. You
Okay.
have to go to committee
Mhm.
and you have to come for floor votes. That's all you have to do.
Mm.
Everything else is it's optional.
And
So
I'm
what
glad-
about more? I'm sorry, more alder person like because they're more.
Well, that was my next question is, I'm glad you set this up because I wanted to hear from Michelle, especially Michelle, you were chief of staff for
Yeah.
Lena Taylor's
Yeah.
office, right? When she was
Mhm.
a senator. Now, the Honorable Judge Taylor. And then you did some work with aldermen and state reps.
Well, I work with them on the advocacy aspect from the NARAD perspective, but I ran for District 5 Alderman last spring.
Okay. And the reason why I'm asking is I want to set this up where folks understand and know what these titles are and what
Mhm.
they do and how they impact our community.
Yeah.
Right.
Michelle gave a perfect example of Senator Taylor, and I can tell you what the old saying is: the loudest wheel gets the attention.
Speaking of
With attention,
yeah.
Senator Taylor, Judge Taylor was everywhere. In her everywhere, you could not go anywhere without seeing her being involved, being an advocate. I was one in the room talking about her. You know, that's what should be, honestly.
You know, and that's the thing that when you think about, because everybody's style doesn't have to be that style in terms of, like you're going to hear Lena sometimes before you see her. You know, she has a very distinctive laugh, voice. She loud. You're going to hear her before you see her.
Yes.
But the thing
That's my
is that level of presence in your district.
Yes.
You know, there was nothing, whether it was a neighborhood association meeting, a baby shower, that if you call, she wouldn't show up to, or be sure
Mhm.
that her office was present at.
Yes.
But I think the biggest thing for me when you start talking about like making sure we understand what people are supposed to do, you know, and you started off by talking about like if people just understood the power of their vote.
Yes. We don't use it.
You know, we had an African American that got elected to be an alderperson in Wauwatosa by one vote.
Mhm.
He literally won his election. And that vote was a provisional ballot that was cast. So everybody shows up in Wauwatosa to vote that day. And one person came and they didn't have everything they needed to verify their identity. So they allowed them to cast a provisional vote and said, go back home, get the paperwork you need, and come back and we'll count your vote.
Right.
That
One
that
vote.
person did it. They followed up. They came back. Who knew that race had gotten down 50-50? One vote was
Yes.
getting ready to decide.
Yeah.
And that one person came back. And that's how this brother ends up becoming an alderperson.
Tell folks,
And I say it
vote
all the
matters.
time.
The
Vote
I
matters.
power.
The times that when I hear that, man, my vote don't count. You never know it does. You
It
could be
does.
that one deciding vote, and you never know. Even if you ain't openly said it, when they tally in the votes, you could have been that one deciding vote.
And if enough people say my vote doesn't count, then you start talking about 9% turnout.
Mhm.
You start talking about,
Mhm.
okay, Joe Biden or somebody just say, I think it was Donald Trump. Donald Trump lost Wisconsin by 23,000 votes
Mhm.
when he lost to Joe Biden.
Yeah, in 2020. Yes.
23,000 votes. So you got a number of people. And I mean, you think about how many people live in the city of Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Mhm.
You know,
700.
you got an automatic district that's looking at them kind of numbers.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
like it's easy to get this done, but because we don't understand how that vote is connected to quality of life,
Mhm.
to services, to what your streets look like when you drive in, to the schools that your children go to that referendum that just got passed,
Oh,
the number of bus routes we got in the community. When you don't connect those dots, you don't see the significance in being a part of the
Right.
process.
You see what they trying to do, how much money they saying that they would save if they shut the buses off for Christmas Day. But do you know how many people still have to work Christmas Day?
But when you're looking at a $10 million deficit, you know, they put out the data. And that's the other thing. Just like you talk about like not voting
Mhm.
and how that actually hurts our community,
it does.
Milwaukee County Transit put out something saying, hey, we missing roughly about $8 million in paid fare.
Y'all don't want to get on the buses.
And they were able to go through in this article I read in the paper, and they mapped out every route and could tell you if you on Villard, the people on Villard don't pay to get on the bus.
Wow.
So they cut that Villard route down to one bus
Wow.
because they realized we can't keep
Going
sending
through
buses
it.
over
Ain't
there.
no
We're not gonna pay.
Right.
They were
Right.
able to go all over the city, and unfortunately, it was in predominantly black neighborhoods. But you also realize there's a lot of stuff going on economically.
Economic.
You know, so it's not all just everybody trifling and don't want to pay.
A few of them is sprinkled. up
Yeah,
in
but
there.
you
Yeah, of
come on
course.
now, ain't nobody crazy. You got it. You got that happening too.
Yeah.
But it's just like there are things that we do that also make it hard to serve us.
Right.
I said,
Correct.
Al
That was
Sharpton
like-
said one
it's so
time.
terrible.
Yeah,
When
Al
they
Sharpton
could
said it one time.
strategically say, hey, based off of the data, because I'm a data's man. Over here is telling us y'all getting on the bus for free. Y'all not paying.
So I'm and I gotta cut routes. I'm cutting this route.
Right.
Because I still got to have money to pay these drivers, pay, you know, whatever. And these is the routes that pay. Like they showed, it's one of the downtown routes. Like they had 555,000 riders. Like I forgot what the time frame is. They had a 6% rate of people not paying. We can have like Villard, a 33,000% ridership in this period that they looked at. 67% of the people didn't pay.
and that's ridiculous.
You can't sustain that. Like
Come
that.
on,
That
man.
is- that-
And we as a people can't find that acceptable.
Now, what we about to say about
That's
Reverend,
So,
Reverend Sharpton? You
I was
said-
at the event one time, and Reverend Sharpton was the key. He was one of the speakers or the keynote or something. Reverend Sharpton said, he said it before. He said, I'm gonna tell y'all, sometimes Black folks are some of the hardest folks in the world to serve.
Oh, yeah.
And he said that from a person that's an activist.
Yeah.
But I think about it even in terms of being somebody in elected office.
Mhm.
One of the reasons why Lena Taylor wanted to start Black Advocacy Day at the Capitol is because we never saw Black people in the Capitol.
Mhm.
You think
Mhm.
about a lot of legislation that gets done, our community gets hit the hardest.
Yep. Each and
They
every time.
were attacking the Latino community, and Latinos said, hey, so y'all don't think we value? Y'all don't think, we're valuable, we're important, we're significant. Y'all don't think we contribute? So we're going to call for a day without Latinos. Nobody went to work that was Latino.
Ah,
And they ended up doing it across the country. But in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee, you know what all them they came to the Capitol. And through our doors, through the Senate doors, you saw great grandma on a walker. You saw granddad. You saw the 2-year-old baby. And then the 9 and 11-year-old kids were the interpreters
oh, wow.
telling us what the issues were that their parents and grandparents were concerned about.
That's powerful.
We've never had
do
an
that.
issue in the state capitol that Black people have showed up in mass to protest
Mhm.
what outside of the Black people that came up obviously for Act 10
Yeah, I remember
when they were
that.
doing
Yeah.
union busting,
Yeah.
but that's a part of a bigger collective. But there are things,
Mhm.
Black history. We put laws in place that the Holocaust has to be, the people that listen to my show, they get sick of me talking about this.
I don't.
But the Holocaust is mandated education
Mhm.
in Wisconsin public schools.
Yes, it is.
You learn
Which
it
is a
in
shame.
middle school
Mhm.
and you learn it in high school.
I disagree with that.
It didn't happen in this country.
Correct.
But the thing that did happen in this country that is not mandated education is
Get 'em with
teaching about slavery.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The brutal.
And they want to
brutality.
whitewash it.
And,
Yeah,
and
they
when
were-
they are discussing these
What they think
bills,
it was a
Job
choice.
program.
internship, unpaid
It was an
internship.
unpaid internship.
I'm
It was a
like-
choice.
And so you got people passing legislation that impacts us.
Mhm.
They told the Jewish community said, hey, we'll teach what happened to black folks. I'm sorry, I can't come teach what happens to the Holocaust.
Right.
You know, like that's
Exactly.
nonsense to me.
Nonsense.
yeah.
Why am
yeah.
I teaching something that didn't?
Yeah.
And I really want
And I
This
can't
this
kids
is
to
not my
understand.
story to tell.
It did not happen
This is
here
not my
in the United
education.
States
Right.
of America.
But the difference is some folks show up to advocate for themselves.
Mhm.
And because we have been, and all of this, and I always do this, some of this, we have been, I don't want to say trained, but we have been put in situations where last to the table,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
advocating for ourselves could get you killed back in the day.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think about now, there are people that are fearful that are black now about raising their voices about things that they see that are unfair
Mm-hmm.
because the systems are becoming so punitive. There is no protections at EEOC anymore.
Right. No.
The
there-
DOJ is not going to step up to defend your rights.
Nope.
You know, so civil rights have fallen by the wayside, or they're only being protected for white people under the Trump administration.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah. Yeah.
there are things we're going to have to do to help ourselves.
Right.
Mhm.
So learning how government works, how to pull those levers, who does what. And I tell people all the time, it's a lot to cover.
Oh yes.
It's so, you know, all these committees cover all these different things that make this city run.
Mhm.
But hey, if your organization commit to covering education, and then y'all do the summary and send it out and let all of us know, and this church gonna commit to covering economic development, and somebody else gonna commit, and then you don't have to carry the whole load
Hold on.
until we learn to work
Delegation.
We
collectively.
have to work.
Collective and
And
delegate.
correct. And I love what you said, Michelle, not a few weeks back when you're talking about the Target boycott, which made sense because I understand what the purpose was for that. Which I think it was needed, but it was like, well, Al Sharpton was doing this boycott. Reverend Jamal Bryant was doing
Yeah,
this.
everybody was doing
And then
separate.
everybody, so that's a lot for somebody to try to grasp on. It's like, okay, wait,
Which
which
one?
one we supposed to?
Yeah, where we at? Where we at this week?
Because if
Right.
I put too much
You know,
fire over here, I ain't got
had it been-
enough for this.
Right. Had it been both of them came together and said, hey, we both are championing Target. We're
Right.
on Target right now.
Right.
I mean, even though I forgot how much Target lost. Target lost a whole bunch of money.
Oh my God,
Oh.
their stock shares
Oh,
drop.
yeah,
You
they
know,
felt it.
CEO loses 40% of his income. Ultimately, now he's been. I heard they said he was fired, but I think he was just like
he
reassigned.
resigned.
Somewhere
would say-
like that, yeah. Which-
Reassign.
Reassign,
Money,
resign.
though.
And that's what I
You
love
know.
about the Montgomery bus boycott of the 1950s, because it was one singular thing, and they had a system that was out of this world to make sure people still got to work, they still got to where they needed to go to. They had, black cab drivers, they had people volunteering their cars, churches,
It was
everything
one
going
band.
there, but it was one goal,
One
One band, one
one
time.
thing, and that's how it worked that way. And that's why and I think, how long did it last? Two
A year.
A year.
A year, over a
A
little
year.
over a
I
year.
don't think we could have done anything like that today.
See, the thing,
Hello.
what I see is it's people not doing it now. People not doing it all for the right reasons. They doing it for more of a, to make it to go viral in a sense. That's what I view. That's what some of them is doing now.
I mean, I think people are trying to figure out ways to call attention to
Gloria.
problems, and you
Yeah.
gotta end up, doing it the best way you know how, because, like you said, trying to get everybody on the same page is difficult. And then I look at how people come under attack when Black Lives Matter was created.
Mhm.
I have watched mainstream communities turn Black Lives Matter into a hate group,
And it's
turn it into a threat,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I've watched Black people walk away
Mhm.
from the Black Lives Matter moniker.
Mhm.
I mean, but the ludicrousness of January 6th riots And people say, "Oh, those were black love." That was
A
BLM.
day of
Like,
love.
yeah,
He said a
yeah,
They
day
ain't
of
seen
love.
one black speck.
Yeah,
There
no,
it
oh
all.
no, let me be clear. It was some sisters there with their white boyfriends, husbands, whatever they
Yeah,
were.
it was
Oh,
few
really?
of
It was
them
some,
there.
it was some sisters there.
And it
We
was a
thought-
couple brothers
yeah,
there
it
too.
was some black folks.
Looking crazy.
Oh, it was some
Yeah.
black folks. It was some
Okay.
black folks. It
You
was-
know, that's
you,
the cousin.
you
hid
can
very
count them
well.
on two
They
hands.
were hid very well.
But hey,
Because you don't mess with no
yeah.
one. Like, yo, you mess
I'm
with
looking
that
at
cuz.
some of these sisters like, what? You got to be, oh yeah, camouflage food.
Wow, that's it.
She get to sleep in that mansion and swim in a pool. That's what
That's
she's
it.
willing to
John-
settle for.
John Horton said, comment here says the problem is the system. So it's not the lack of personal advocacy. If we go advocate for ourselves, they'll find another way not to oblige our requests.
Right.
And then he said, you just said we were advocating until they threaten us literally with death.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a mixed
It
bag.
is the system too, though.
But again, you still. But think about it, y'all. And I was thinking about this not too long ago because I was having a conversation. I said, you know, just watching the unraveling of civil rights that I'm seeing right
Oh.
now,
Horrible.
and I know I'm not the only black person that does this. You go back to your ancestors. You like
Yes.
how they do it.
Yeah.
You know, you had to walk on a different side of the street. You had to hold your head
Yeah.
down. You
Mhm.
couldn't look
I
a
say
white
that all
person
the
in the
time.
eye. You know,
Yeah.
they could handle you all crazy, call you out your name, get to the back of the bus, get off the bus, you know, because we need these seats. And I swear, you know, you just sit there like, Jesus, how did these people do it?
A bunch of Travises.
And then, well, no. You got people who realize I'm trying to move back to that needle. Ruby Bridges got to go
Mhm.
and be that only little black girl sitting in that school building for a year by herself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, when people hear that story of Ruby Bridges, 6 years old, they don't tell the whole thing that girl sat in the classroom with her teacher because all of the white people pull their kids out that school.
Which was crazy.
Mhm.
She was in that classroom for a year, which on one hand, you got a teacher to yourself for a year.
Hey.
Good.
Yeah,
You
right.
tripping.
You
Right.
technically you supposed to be a boss.
I'm on it.
Right.
But all of the socialization and the spitting on, and you know, and I thought about like the mother who and father who makes a decision. I know my child is getting ready to get spat upon.
Mhm.
I know my 6-year-old baby is getting ready to be terrified.
Mhm.
But they put their child out there so that everybody else's child
Didn't have to
could
work.
go.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so there were people that advocate. Medgar Evers got up every day knowing today could be the last.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Until it
King
was.
We gotta
marched
start.
every day.
Yeah.
So even though, yeah, they are doing things that many of us get fearful of, and we know, you know, and I'm gonna be honest.
But we gotta.
Anybody
to
that
me,
ever
we
listen
gotta
to me
stop.
on the
We
radio,
gotta
I
let
talk
that go.
crazy.
You gotta get over that fear.
And you-
I'm one of the ones.
You
that,
have
look,
to.
I
Gotta be fearless.
You have to have a fearless mind frame because they already took everything from us. What else can you take? So it's like I'm not telling people to rise up and ride or do anything, but it's like now it's that fear. That fear is yesterday.
You got to be in the game. You know,
Yeah.
there are things that I say that by all accounts, you know, I have people that call me and they like, look, I need you to just be watching your surroundings when you're moving around, depending on what I talked about that day on the show, how hard I've come about an issue. And there are days that I have after I've done a show, I'll have a conversation with myself like, all right, so I need you to pay attention, you know, because I don't have a filter on who I'm willing to confront or to raise a concern about. But I also have the freedom of being in a situation where I ain't got to worry about nobody firing me,
Right.
you know,
Right.
or not eating or not being able to pay a mortgage or losing something.
Right.
And, you know, so, but it's one of those things that, and I tell people this too, people play different lanes.
Mhm.
Everybody didn't march with King them.
Mhm. Right.
Some
Oh,
people
yeah.
stayed on the job.
Yeah.
They took that B rating because they needed to get that paycheck so they could funnel that money to the movement.
Mhm.
Kingdom wasn't paying for that stuff by themselves.
Right.
It ain't for
Right.
everybody to.
You
gotta-
got to
everybody
have
to be
people
in the
everywhere.
movement.
Like
You
they
gotta
said, the
all
spook who
be a
sat by
part
the
of it.
door.
Right.
You got to have
Yes.
people everywhere. And
That's
we
cool
have to
though.
be in the room.
I think like right now with us, it's too much of we can't do that, we can't see that, we don't see, you know what I mean? Like everybody's so against, everybody's so negative that can't happen, telling you all the things that can't.
there. That can is the most. That is our kryptonite in the Black community.
Mhm.
I can't.
And
Well, you done had enough examples of getting beaten back though and beaten down.
Yeah.
right.
And
Right.
so where you find that inner strength, and like I said, sometimes that's calling on the ancestors, calling on
Man.
Big Mama, remembering how it was done.
Yeah.
But whatever it takes, I saw some brothers headed up to Pulaski, Wisconsin, after the young 14-year-old found himself in a situation where he was being beaten or attacked by some white people
At the barn.
at the
right?
barn.
Yeah.
And I'm not even gonna say they was white kids because some of them looked older than
Mhm.
18.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't really know, if these were kids or not. And people are like, so how do we respond? Because cats ready to ride out. And one of the things I said, well, understand what you're doing when you ride out.
Right.
What are you asking? Understanding how
ask?
government works.
But it's the ass.
What's the ask?
Mhm.
Who am I supposed to be talking to when I get there?
Mhm.
Do I call ahead and say, I want to meet with a district attorney in that county? I want to meet with the chief of police because you haven't charged anybody yet. What does all that look like? And when you understand that, you don't go up. And I'm not saying that this is what these people did, but a lot of us don't know what to do when it's time to show up.
Right.
We're
Right.
just out here.
Right.
And it's like, man, we have got to be able to figure out how to work the system and make the system work for us where
Mhm.
we can.
Mhm. I love what you said about calling on our ancestors. I just thought back to my relationship with my folks. Like I was raised primarily by my grandparents, and with my mom and my grandparents helped my mom out tremendously with me, and I got the chance to have a great relationship with my great grandmother. Great grandmother. I don't know how many people can say that they have. Me and her was like, it was tight.
Right.
I'm talking about
Big Mama.
tight. And we would talk. Oh, I just miss her right now because she would sit there and share stories with me because they came from Mississippi, Belzoni to be exact. And she would share stories with me from that time. She was born in 1914. So just imagine the things she encountered and things she saw in Mississippi during that time period. And she would tell me, I seen white folks in a way that you would probably never see them. And when she said that, I was like, what? And it took me a minute as I got older until I really felt when she's told me that. I'm like, you're right. Because you've seen people get lynched. You done seen, and she would tell me stories about her walking to school. They had to walk in school in groups because they couldn't walk by themselves because the white kids were from the other school would drive on the bus and throw stuff at them. They had to walk in groups. It was just like, wow. Like, that's just amazing.
And to understand
To
that
live-
we
to live
are
that.
in a time like that again.
Yeah, we are. And I love to say that
We're here again.
because I think too on your show you mentioned about how Black moms and stuff was going to these college games for their kids that play in these southern schools.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we just had an incident last week when my son plays for St. Francis, right?
Okay.
So we're going up to Jackson, Wisconsin. I never even heard of Jackson, Wisconsin.
All right.
When I heard it, I'm like, okay, here we go. Because I'm like, that's them up north. Okay, all right. Go into the game. Son plays. Now they have this really, really small stadium, really, really small, where everybody's sitting on the same side.
Okay.
Normally you got, the visitors sit on the side, opponents sit on that side. But we all together. So they got the kids that go to the school here, the opposing parents and stuff, we all in the middle, and then they got the teachers on the other side of the same school. So I'm like, okay, how this gonna work? But all right. We go in, we sit down. Of course, it's a bunch of them people's there. One of the kids comes in and he has a Trump 2024 flag draped around him with a cowboy hat on. I'm like, that's exactly what I did. I'm like, it's going to be something. I knew it. I knew it. So we sitting there. My son, first of all, got a sack in the game. My buddy chased him down like Michael Parsons. Chased him down, pulled him, hit him. Like, go big boy. So I'm juggling. I'm jumping up. I'm screaming. I jumped on the bleachers. I'm screaming and everything. But before that happened, they played the national anthem, right? So I didn't get up. I sat down. I always said I'm never standing for the national anthem again a day in my life
And why is that?
because of the words that the anthem represents. And that
Okay.
was about slavery. And it talks about beating your slaves and being the master of your slave. I'm not going to stand for that. So I said, no, because first of all, know nothing about the country right now that I'm looking at makes me just this proud person to stand up and cry and, oh my God, I just love the U.S. I just can't do it right now. I ain't there. So I'm sitting down, and wife, she next to me, and she's like, okay, I ain't moving. So all them kids is looking at me, right? We're the only black specks there,
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, I'm looking back at them. I'm like, what? So when my son gets his sack, I jump up. I'm screaming, yeah, boy, yeah. One of them kids screams over at us, hey man, you need to sit down. My wife grabs my arm. She says, Dory, listen, please don't say nothing back. Them kids. I said, I don't give a damn. I'm an adult. You don't talk to me at all. You don't say nothing to me. Okay. My wife's like, please don't say nothing. I'm like, okay, I don't say nothing. So he says it again. The same boy. So my daughter is sitting on the other side of me with her boyfriend. So her boyfriend gets in the boy's face. I'm like, oh shoot, we're getting ready to get kicked out of here. Why? That's exactly what happened.
Really?
The one of the security people from sitting up in the booth came down and he saw,
The exchange.
join back. So we like, well, no, he's saying stuff to us. We ain't. And then they had this other boy sitting in there. He's screaming, he's foaming at the mouth, all crazy, saying crazy stuff, back to us. Like, dude, like, calm down. So we ended up telling him, hey, they start joining with us first. We wouldn't send. I'm cheering for my son. I ain't even thinking about dude. So he kicks my daughter's boyfriend out the game. And then we telling him, so all the parents behind, which were all white, were saying, oh, no, don't kick them out. They ain't did nothing. It was him. So they finally kicked the other boy out too.
Mm.
So both of them got removed. And it was the end of the game almost anyway. So it really didn't matter. We get ready to leave out of there anyway. But it's just like stuff like that you encounter. They got nerve. They got nerve. They feel really emboldened
I mean,
right now.
and I talked about it on the show. We are at the Smithsonian African American History Museum, and all kinds of groups of school kids are rolling through. And there's a group of school kids that come through, and all of the white boys got Trump hats on. Coming up in the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
And so we were there on a college tour. So we got groups of kids with us, and our kids is turning around like, are you serious right now? Particularly with everybody understanding the attack on the Smithsonian,
Right.
what you're doing to Black history.
Yes.
And the first thing, I said to the kids, I said, so why do you think they wore the hats? Kids is steaming.
Oh,
I said, calm down for a minute and just think about the question. Why did they wear the hat?
Because they know where to get on it.
To get a reaction.
Yep.
I said, so the best reaction is no reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Give them nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And if something need to be said, let me say,
Mm-hmm.
But I was looking for the teacher and I never could figure out where she was because you get to walk around freely,
Right.
But so you thought that this was acceptable to come on the field trip? Because I wanted to say something to the grown person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's America and all is great. But I know you understood what they were trying to do. Just like when high school students who had on Trump hats went into the cafeteria at Howard University.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
And sat down and made themselves comfortable.
Mhm.
They wanted to provoke
Yes.
drama. They looking
Yes.
for some race wars.
Yeah,
and
that's what it was.
some
Right.
violence.
Right.
And depending on where you go,
Mhm.
somebody might
Get
get it to you.
Somebody
Oh,
gonna give you that
that's true.
energy.
Howard wasn't gonna get it to you.
Right. Right.
Alabama State might have gave it to you.
Right.
Right.
It's
Right.
different little environment,
Right.
and so that is the thing. To that point about how we got to figure out how to comport ourselves, and a lot of the levers that we had that we could use to protect ourselves, even though it didn't always feel like we had protection, but there were laws in place, there were judges in place, and attorney generals in place that were going to follow the letter of the law,
Right.
whether they liked us or not.
Right.
You know, but now we got a Supreme Court who stands out and basically says, at least in LA, for this
They can do whatever they
temporary
want.
order that this judge had issued in LA about ICE racially profiling,
Yeah.
until the full case is heard before the Supreme Court, go on and do that.
Let
Yep.
them do it.
Yep.
Ain't that
Just a
that's
blank
ironic?
check.
Yeah,
Break
go on,
the
do that.
profile. If you
They-
talk-
seem like
They
they
look
can-
Mexican,
craziness.
they sound Spanish, you know, so they speaking Spanish. Oh, they standing by Home Depot, Lowe's. Go ahead and do that. Like, that's the balance of the court right now.
Mhm.
And so people that sit back and don't appreciate how elected officials, there is nothing that goes on in your world,
Mhm.
It's a world.
that's
right?
not impacted by an elected official.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Nothing.
And I'm
And-
glad you sound that alarm
Right.
every
Yeah,
day.
and because and what Republicans figured out in mass, a lot of people across the board, they stopped going so hard on those federal seats
Mhm. Mhm.
and started working their way down into
The local.
school board,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mhm.
common council,
Mhm.
you know, village clerk.
Mhm.
How do I get those things? Because now I'm impacting what you're teaching in your classroom.
Yep.
Donald Trump is now
Exactly.
standing on the, you know, even though I'm back to the federal level, but you telling people we about to put prayer back in school. We protecting prayer in school.
But what if everybody don't follow Christianity? You know what I'm saying?
For all the religious people, I'm not trying to offend y'all. Prayer does not belong in school. Now, yes, is there some people who probably need Jesus? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But prayer
Not in the
itself,
school
just
itself.
because which prayer we allowing?
Right.
Right.
Because I could pray to kill all white people. I could pray to kill all black people.
Right.
Which prayer are we allowing? Oh, you know, masterful servant that I mean,
Muslims
Lord
pray
that I
5 times
serve,
a day.
please wipe out this group. What's the prayer?
Right. Right.
It-
And who we praying to?
who we
What
praying
for?
to? Again. And
Right.
so, you know, but because we absent at these polls.
Yep. I mean, had we voted the first time with Trump, we wouldn't have had the Supreme Court we had, even though Mitch McConnell did steal a pick from Obama. But I believe, honestly,
No, it wasn't no kind of stole.
Well,
Mitch
yeah,
McConnell did
he
steal.
did steal. Yeah,
He stole from Obama and he stole
did
from
steal.
Joe Biden.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, on
Yeah.
the Obama
With
front,
Amy
Mitch
Coney
McConnell
Barrett.
said, "Oh, it's not enough time left in Barack Obama's term, and even though he, you know, should be getting this pick for the Supreme Court, we need to be fair, and it's not enough time. The incoming president should make the decision."
Mhm.
And that's when they brag.
And then
In 2020,
we get another death, and he needs to make this decision right away. We don't want to leave this vacant. I mean, the rules change. The rules change.
Yeah. But
So
I mean,
yeah, that court would look nothing the way it does.
at all.
We would not have a lot of the legal decisions that we have
Correct.
had Barack Obama and Joe Biden not been cheated. And that's the thing about Republicans that grates my whole soul.
They love to cheat.
You cheat all the time.
All
Or-
the
or-
time.
If
All the
if
time.
your ideology is one that people get down with, you don't have to cheat.
Correct.
People will just ride with you.
Correct.
But because a lot of the stuff that they do is just destructive, demonstrative, unfair,
Yes.
people step back.
Yes.
So what we're doing in Texas now, we're going to force the situation that no Democrat will be able to elect a Democrat
Which is
to the
crazy.
state, to the federal level at all.
Mhm.
Or we're going to give you 2 safe seats. And then now we have another state that's looking at doing redistricting. And they're saying, I think right now their state is set up that they have 6 Republican safe districts and 2 Democratic safe districts. They're going to get rid of the 2 safe Democratic seats. You already got an imbalance of power 6-2.
Right.
And see,
Yes.
when people
They trying to
stay
be
home,
fatigued
Yep.
you putting these people in
In there.
power.
Yep.
because they know
And
you
leaving them, or leaving them there, because a lot of times they go uncontested.
The whole situation
Yeah, and
with
that's the issue I have.
wait,
is
say it
the
again, uncontested.
uncontested.
Yeah.
I am so sick of that. And do you know
But
how
why? But why? Why?
Because
And just so
I
we clear,
feel it's, to me,
uncontested meaning people are not running against folks. So folks get to run and nobody runs against them.
They just stay in.
All you
They
do is
stay
turn in your signatures.
Yep.
That's it.
All you do is turn in your signatures. 200 signatures at this level, 400 at this level, 1,000 or 2,000 at this level if you're running for statewide office or mayor, and you get to stay in office.
Yeah.
But why don't people run?
To me, I think
Because you ran.
the reason why I feel people don't run is because they don't know what the actual role is, what the position entails, and most of the time, to be quite frank, a lot of people got records and they feel like their record won't get them in, and or if they got their record clean, they feel like no one would be supportive. We here in Milwaukee, and that's just in general, anyone that votes, you vote out of familiarity. So if I'm familiar with that individual or that constituent, I'm gonna continue to put them in office. So that kind of deters other individuals, and it's just my opinion, other individuals from wanting to run because they like, hey, you gonna vote for him anyway.
One of the main things why Black folks don't step up to the mic, because you understand, if you pay attention to politics just a little bit, everything about you is getting ready to be on full display.
Oh, see,
Air
I
out.
ain't got nothing to hide.
You may not have nothing
Nobody-
to hide, but am I
somebody
trying to
else
take
do.
my wife through it,
Right.
my children
Right.
through it, my brother through it, my mama through it?
Yeah.
Like, when I look at some of the just the dirty stuff that people do, one of my colleagues was joking with me this morning about some stuff that happened in politics. He said, "Man, y'all cats act like the mafia." I said, "The mafia ain't got nothing on us.
You don't.
The mafia ain't got nothing on politics.
You don't.
Whatever's the dirtiest thing you could think of in the mafia, they ain't got nothing on politics."
Nope.
Like, when you got
Nope.
people literally changing the rules in a state so that somebody can follow your menstrual cycle. So I can keep up with if you get
That's
pregnant or
sick.
not.
That's weird.
Sick.
In 2025,
Sick.
when you got people who say, you know what? We don't like Jasmine Crockett. She giving Donald Trump way too much smoke. So we gonna change the rules and draw this girl completely out.
Yeah.
So you ain't got to move Jasmine. We gonna move you.
Mhm.
And they literally redrew the map. This Jasmine Crockett house, they cut the district around her house, and everything else is right there. So Jasmine, if you want to run, now you got to run in the district with the other Black legislator, and y'all duke it out.
Mhm.
And because if you don't get out or he doesn't get out, we got a white Republican sitting on the sideline that's
That's gonna
already
wait.
registered,
Yep.
and y'all gonna cancel each other's votes out, and he gonna win.
Yep.
Like, literally,
Right before your eyes.
when Barack Obama was standing in, was it Hyde Park? The beautiful sea of
Oh,
faces,
Oh yeah.
everybody smiling. Jesse Jackson tear rolled down his eye. Little baby
Oprah.
Sasha Malia. I mean, just
Yeah. The whole
what did they say?
they plotting.
Mitch McConnell, our very own
Paul Ryan.
Paul Ryan,
Yep.
Yeah.
Jim Boehner,
Yep.
a couple of other folks. They all convened.
And said
We gonna do everything we can to make this man a one-term president.
hadn't even been sworn in.
We're
yet.
not gonna make him successful. We're not gonna help him. And then you get Michelle Obama, who is, portrayed to be some violent woman.
Mhm.
The fist bump becomes something that's criminal in nature and aggressive.
Mhm.
Like, you get torn apart. So one of the reasons why, just one, it's tons of
It's
them.
tons of
But
it.
I never will ever discount what the public, what the media, and trust me, you step up, you understand what you get ready to go through.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
Of course. I mean,
come in eyes wide
you
open.
weighing in,
Yeah.
like
Come
we
in
running.
eyes wide open.
I
And I'm
weigh
saying
in.
that as somebody that comes for people, depending on what's going on. Like I said, somebody ran for office, and I'm like, the voting record information came out like, hey, you ain't voted in 10 years.
That's the issue.
The first time you vote is to vote for yourself. What is you crazy? Oh my God.
Hey.
Wow.
You haven't voted in 10 years. You have not cared about it. I'm like, I'm glad you back. I'm glad you care about the civic process now.
Right.
But you can't get elected.
Right.
You can't be the man.
So two things I got a couple questions here. One for you, Michelle, and one for you, Stacey. Michelle, do you feel at one or any point in time, the way our state legislator is made up right now, do you ever feel that one day it will be liberal
So the state legislature, and make sure, because we will confuse how that sounds. Legislator is the actual elected official. Legislature, TURE, is the body. Because of redistricting, we are now in a situation to being close to being able to flip the power paradigm in the legislature, because we are 2 seats away as Democrats. If we can pick up 2 Democratic seats in the Senate, you flip the Senate to a Democratic leaning Senate. If you pick up 5 seats in the Assembly, now that's a hard 5, because one, I looked at an article that's talking about Van Vanguard down in Racine. That's a hard seat to win.
Yeah.
He's
Oh, yeah.
former police. He's actually a good guy. It's a lot of stuff he do that's jacked up, but he's a decent person, and he did a lot with Lena in our office to help us advance some of the things that she was trying to do on the judicial committee.
Okay.
So some of those seats are going to be hard to pick up, but we are now. I had David Crawley on the show this morning.
Shout
For
out to you,
folks
David.
that don't know, this 39-year-old African-American young man is
Man.
running for governor of
Yes.
Wisconsin. There's only 2 other people in the race declared right now. Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, who I always say irritated my soul because she decided to run for lieutenant governor after having only been a legislator for 9 months. She's a nurse, nursing background.
And only one because of Evers.
I mean, like,
that's what I said.
I tell anybody,
I don't know.
it's,
I know nothing about it.
it's easy to win lieutenant governor
Mhm.
because you usually only got one person running against you in the primary.
Right.
And if the right, if you get tacked on with the main guy, in this
You
case,
just-
Evers,
Just
you
coast.
come on through.
Yeah, you just
And people don't like it when I say it, but
It's the truth.
the same thing happened for
I was
Mandela.
gonna say that's how many.
You only had one person running against.
Yep.
This dude was very wealthy. I don't know how seriously he was really trying to win.
Lazarus
No,
at the time.
it wasn't Alex. Alex ran against him for Senate.
That's right. That's right.
This is when he ran for lieutenant governor, Kurt Coburn. And so once you move that cat, then if
good.
you're on a Democratic ticket, you rolling on in.
Yeah.
But so David actually got a real good shot of getting this done.
Mhm.
A couple of things.
Mhm.
If we can get people not to be racist. One of the things he said, and I pointed out on my show before, we are a state that is a swing state for real.
We are purple.
We
yeah.
put Barack Obama and Scott Walker in office at the same time.
Yes, we did.
Some of the
Yeah.
same people that voted for Scott Walker voted for Barack Obama.
And then we reelected him when we reelected Obama.
Yeah, so we have
Mhm.
the ability to do both in this state.
Yes.
So this cat got a real shot
She does.
if he, if this thing plays out well.
Mhm.
And one of the things he mentioned on my show when he was talking about this morning is, again, I don't think we're gonna get the assembly, but that's just me. But he said we could have a situation where we control that legislature again.
Right.
Mhm.
Democrats get control of the legislature, it changes the game.
Yes.
Oh man.
But let me
Yeah.
be clear,
Yes.
because I always say you got to tell all of it.
Mhm.
There are times when we have had to, and we, meaning Black people, have had to turn around and look at Democrats in the legislature like, what's up? What's up?
What you
What's the
doing?
plan?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, yeah.
Like what's
Oh,
your
yeah.
what's
Yeah,
the
on
plan?
redistricting,
Yeah.
what's up?
Yeah.
Times when people should have showed up and they didn't show up.
Mhm.
When you in
That
a
do
fight by
deter
yourself.
people, though, that do deter your party when they feel like you jumping ship. We run into situations and that'll make some people.
I mean,
slay.
the thing is, you look at the totality of it though.
Mhm.
More of the policies that the Democrats advance are going to help my community than hurt us.
Correct.
Mhm.
I got a better shot
But
of
then
getting what I
anyone
need
else.
than over here.
Oh,
Right.
But I'm not naive to what goes on even in my own party.
Right.
correct.
Like we see what you're doing, but you fucking with.
I
fucking
mean,
with But
the-
we watching you though. Just don't get to do it.
I
too
mean,
much.
you just got to tell the truth. Like, and sometimes, I tell people, like, man, even though you way better than some of the stuff I see over here, yeah, y'all raggedy. You got some
Oh, yeah.
raggedy ways. You got
Oh,
some
yeah.
raggedy
Got a
moments.
little ghetto with you.
No,
And that's
don't,
what
don't
I'm
put that on ghetto. Let's
Let's
talk about the white ghettos. Don't put that on us.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, you know, you can't ever delude yourself or fool yourself that somebody always got your back.
Right. Because, yeah, they don't. That's what I can say about, and I hate to admit this, but I can say this about Republicans. If they don't like what somebody doing in office, they'll primary that person. And they'll,
But some of it is so
they'll
it's
move 'em out.
all in how you look at it because some of it is some of the most disloyal people ever,
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
or the loyal.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because Democrats can be loyal to a fault. People that
Yeah.
we should have got rid of, we keep.
True.
Because of
Democrat-
our loyalty.
Yeah,
to
this
True.
Republicans
True.
like Donald Trump ain't loyal to nobody.
Nobody.
he telling his
Nobody.
whole
But
party,
himself.
Nobody.
you ain't loyal.
Anybody can catch it. Go under
Yes.
the bus.
Yeah.
Soon as he used you, he through with you.
Yep.
Or you know, if I need to shift some blame, oh, you about to catch that
And
heat
he
for
gonna
me?
tell you, hey, I'm putting this on you this week.
Yeah, I mean, like
Don't trip. I'm just gonna reshift you over here next week.
so you know, it's all in glass half empty, half full.
Yeah.
Because Republicans can be some cutthroat,
Oh.
disloyal. You know, they can stand together in terms of a messaging, but yeah, what they do to each other, like, but it happens. It happens no matter where you are.
Okay. Right. Cool. Just got a couple of comments here real quick before we get to our close. This was kind of civil this evening, wasn't it? I wonder why.
You missing the spot. You missing somebody.
Missing somebody. Barbara Smith commented, she says, if we learn to rally together and not everyone trying to be the lead and having numerous voices instead of one unified, I think we could progress a bit better with longevity. So a great example would be the licensing hearing we had today. Quite a few residents from the same neighborhood had previous conversations about it, still testified all over the place. Deborah Jenkins Simmons says, like when that man told the reporter to be quiet and you're a second grader, she was talking about.
Yamiche, yeah.
And Yamiche catches it because the one time, and I have to say this, one time, and this was in his first term,
Oh, he clowned her.
she was at the White House. They were in the East Room.
Yeah.
And he was telling her,
Single-
sit down. Oh, I got so
But you know,
mad.
April Ryan he did that to April Ryan too.
That
might have been April Ryan.
Yeah, I
'cause-
think it was
Yeah.
April Ryan.
Yeah, I think that was
Sit
April
down,
Ryan.
you
He
sit down.
clowned.
I'm like, I know he ain't talking to the sister like this. Like, come on, somebody say something. I was like begging for somebody to say something.
Well,
but-
I'm trying to find some information
Oh.
because somebody called me last night and I haven't looked for it yet. But they said something about he being Trump just made a comment about basically black people and criminality from birth.
oh yeah, he did. It was I forgot who played it. I believe
So I
Urban
haven't
View.
seen-
I think
yeah,
Urban
I
View
haven't
played it. It was on
seen it
Dr.
yet.
Carr's show when they
Okay.
actually played the clip. And you, of course, you can't see it. You can just listen to it. And he did.
He did say it.
Yeah, he
Okay.
did. Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Criminality from birth. huh?
Yeah, he said, yeah,
So we
your
come out
criminals.
the womb
They
thinking
they
about
grow
being
up to be criminals. I ain't saying exactly what he said, but he was saying the term of they grow up to be criminals. They're going to be criminals or something of that nature.
And that's what, and it's like he just throw it around like he ain't a 34-time convicted fraud felon. Like, bro,
But
you
even though the
fraud.
characterization with this unfortunate situation where the 23-year-old Ukrainian woman was stabbed to death
Yeah,
on this bus,
yeah. Oof.
and you take this and make this your new Willie Horton.
Mhm.
Willie Horton used in that Dukakis race to be able to, see, you soft on crime and black people are the worst thing ever. And I'm like, we had the school shootings where this transgender student most recently, committed the shooting. And so now transgender kids transgender people shouldn't be allowed to have guns. But we have yet to say white men shouldn't be allowed to have guns because white kids are out shooting up,
because they got their
school.
daddy gun out the safe.
Or your
Right,
dad
yeah.
bought it for
Your
you
dad
like
bought
up
it
in
for you.
Madison.
When
Yeah.
they bought it for
And I'm just like, so the whole imaging around who commits crime
Mhm.
and who's a monster and who's heinous. And you just replay slavery, you just replay
it's just a
things
different
that
form.
and it's like I was telling somebody, like, it was certain crimes you hear, like, didn't nobody black do that? We don't do
Yeah,
that.
Right.
We don't do that.
Sometimes you
Yeah.
can say,
I'm
"Yeah,
not
I know
eating
that Negro."
nobody.
Right.
You know,
I
nasty Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
We don't do that, fam. You know, I'm not
Egging, all
cutting off
that.
your genitalia.
And taking a bite of it.
I mean, and just recently
Like,
with Sade Robinson, you know,
Yeah.
just recently with
We don't do that.
I'm not taking a date.
We don't do
you to
that.
my house and cut you up, and then spread your body parts.
You
over
know,
the
but
city,
but
you know,
but the
that's
whole group of white
sickening.
people don't get labeled as degenerates and crazy based on the actions of one
Right.
or a few.
Right.
But you want to label an entire group of people, and then to know that this man was mentally ill,
Yes.
that his mother had reached out for services, had not been successful in getting them, and even here, we will tout, oh, we got the new mental health place. How many beds y'all got?
I mean, right.
Right.
Because y'all show over y'all.
What y'all got? 32 or something? How many beds y'all got?
And they're full.
Versus the need.
Mhm.
Now we know it's about resources, but
availability.
we help create these problems.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Mhm.
And then we dog the people that had a problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you created.
But you created it. That's what I was telling old boy about. You know, y'all like to be the champions and all this, but y'all create the problems.
Create 'em.
Like
You want
about
to
immigration,
see
y'all create the immigration problem because you had a chance to fix the problem. You don't want to fix it. You want it to be chaos. You want it to be what it is so that you can run on that. I mean, versus the
Healthcare.
man
I
was-
got people that are sick physically, but have no health care and scared to go to the doctor because I
Yeah.
can't pay this bill.
yeah,
'Cause
horrible.
when you go to the hospital,
Horrible.
it trips me out where they have signs literally everywhere about you making a payment.
Let me just say
Wow.
this as you close. One of my good friends, her mother is in nursing care right now. She has a tracheotomy in her throat.
Okay.
You know how the insurance company send you a thing, say this is not a bill,
Yes.
but it's just letting you know what stuff costs. Her care, I think it was $1,200,000, or it was either $1.2 million. And this is in the last year. For her going to the hospital because she's had strokes. And then they eventually put a trach in. And we looking at this bill like, you know, like this is what the insurance company would be billing.
Mhm.
And then we saw what they paid. And then thank God she got insurance. So what share her mother had to be responsible for. But just this service, it's a trach. She had open heart surgery. She had none of this stuff. $1.2 million.
The healthcare is controversial.
So I got people like, man, I'm not going up in there.
Right.
My
Oh, yeah.
my MBA concentration in healthcare management,
Did you?
because I want to open up a hospital there in the first place in the state of Wisconsin, where 20% of the profits is given back to the residents and the underserved communities. I'm working on that now. That's the whole reason why I got the concentration. I don't care about going in to be a doctor or administration.
Mhm.
I want something for us.
What was my man in Chicago who set up the hospital in Chicago? Brother,
Oh.
black man. I can't even think of his
Mhm.
name right now.
I can't
And
even
that's
think
where
of
most
that.
black nurses
Yep.
ended up being trained
Yep.
under him. You
Yep.
know, it's a hard undertaking, but I think that that's just the thing, is that we are now sitting back and watching, you know, how we are being demonized, we being black people demonized in the community. It's it feels like it's open
It
season
does.
on
Right.
black folks, on open season on people of color. And, you know, and I know that there are white people that are decent white people
Oh, yes.
that don't like what they're seeing, but those voices just don't seem to be the loudest right now.
No. Yeah.
You
Gotta
know,
make our voice loud.
yeah,
Yeah.
those voices are not the loudest. I think some of those people are equally as scared
Mhm.
about what they see happening around them. It's a lot of people are at the fight, you know, because when they talked about that 14-year-old boy in that barn, and I'm waiting to see if this is true. They said it was other black kids in that barn when that boy was getting beat up. According
That
to the
is.
police report,
They were scared.
they
to do
said they
it.
interviewed another black child that was there,
They were scared to do something.
and you were scared to do something.
Yeah, they were scared.
So,
And that's just where we at. And that's horrible.
Eric, you know, the
They're
lesson
trying to,
is
recreate that fear.
Oh, yeah, they definitely want to take us
everybody's not gonna come,
Yeah.
but the ones that's gonna come, we got to come out.
back. Gotta come on. Our vote matters. We tell that all the times. If you got local
Our
elected
next
officials in your
elections is next
community,
spring.
yeah, we gotta
Our
come out.
primary is in February. And
Yeah.
our general's April 7th, 2026.
We gotta come out. We gotta come out, y'all. Especially when it comes to our local elections, we have to do better at
All
coming out.
There's a
18
thing that
districts.
Lena and them used to pass out. It said be a fan.
Mhm.
And fan, the F stood for February, spring primary.
Uh-huh.
April was a general election. The other A was August. That's the fall primary, and then November. So
And they
fan.
make it so easy.
Yeah.
Like we used to go to the bowling pool, but now we get our ballots mailed to the house. We do them all. I sign them. Me, my wife, and my daughter, and I take them to the thing and drop them off.
But some of it they was trying to change it so
Yeah,
you could
yeah,
drop
yeah.
off
Right? Yeah. They try.
ballots for other people in your house. So it had to
Yeah.
be something else going on.
Yeah.
I mean, the goal is to keep as many people away from the polls as possible.
Correct.
Glenn Grothman,
Correct.
a member of Congress, used to be in the Senate here in Wisconsin,
Mhm.
state Senate. He said, when we got voter ID,
Oh yeah, that was trying to
we winning.
stave off. Yep.
We winning. Ballots being mailed to people. Donald Trump now wants to get rid of that again.
Mhm.
We winning if we do that.
Mhm.
It's all about and again, we hear it all the time. If it wasn't powerful, folks wouldn't work so hard
Work
to
so
take it
hard.
from you.
Common said it. Yeah, Common said that. Common said that.
It'd be way
Your vote
before that
didn't
boy.
matter.
But people, if it
But it's
was,
so true.
they wouldn't work so hard, y'all.
For you not to do it.
They wouldn't have you counting jelly beans in a jar. They wouldn't have you paying poll taxes.
All that.
They wouldn't do it.
Nope.
So
Nope.
we just gotta.
Nope.
I do believe we eventually will get it.
Yeah, we're gonna come around.
Because sometimes your back get pushed so far. That Fannie Lou Hamer moment.
Oh yeah.
I feel
I'm
like
tired
we
of being sick and tired.
We at that, we
yeah.
getting to that point.
Oh yeah,
bro.
we getting
We
there.
at that
I
point,
think we
bro.
getting
You
there,
know.
but we ain't there yet. But I think
that Dr. King moment.
Yeah.
By the time he does, I have a dream. King is fed up.
at that point,
America has written us a bad check.
Yep.
And I'm talking about the Vietnam War,
Mhm.
like all of the things that were not safe to talk about. Because as long as you was talking about civil rights, okay, you want to be able to ride on the bus where you want to ride. You want to be able to sit in the movie theater where you paid your little dime to sit.
Eat where
But
you
when
wanna
he
eat.
started talking about how you paying people
Mhm.
and this garbage man strike down in Memphis, when he started talking about you got us in wars that we don't
That's
have
the
no
problem.
business being in.
That's the problem.
That's what people believe. Oh, now it's time to kill King.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so,
Agreed.
but as he said, if I don't get there with you, it's okay. Because I know what it's gonna be like when y'all get there.
Yes.
I've seen it.
Yes.
So I'm willing to die for it in this moment. Sometimes it wasn't for me. I say all the time, money come through my hands that don't be for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody have a situation, I was the vessel.
Mhm.
It got passed through me. That's the one thing that we got to realize as a community. We doing this stuff, and some of it is not going to be for our benefit.
Right, for our kids.
It's gonna be for those
Right.
kids.
For my
Yep.
kids.
His brothers and sisters got jobs and sitting in rooms that folks got their backs broke so you could be there.
Yep.
And they
Mhm.
knew when this lash was hitting them in the back, this strike is for the next generation of my family. They not gonna go through this, and they was willing to take that lash for you.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do it now.
And we got to ask ourselves, what we willing to take? I got a 6-year-old grandson.
Mm-hmm.
I already know what I'm gonna do for this boy
Right.
and what I'm willing to take for him. But we got to ask, what you willing to take?
Mm-hmm.
Because many of us, this whole setup, none of this was meant for us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
None of it. But it was Black folks that took hits so we could do this.
so we can be where we
And
are
we could
right
be
now.
here. Had the freedom to talk and not worry about somebody trying to throw us in jail because we spoke out against the system.
Mhm.
They spoke out against the system
Mm-hmm.
and made it legal to speak out against the system. And now we got the voice and we won't use it.
Or we use it.
And not enough.
Well,
Or not
yeah.
use it.
Oh, we got somebody else that's no, we gonna leave him where he at. So we just thank y'all for tuning in. We're gonna wrap again. Michelle, you just bring again. You just bring so much gravitas to this studio, to this element with your presence here again.
Not at all. Just hey, everybody got to do their part, bro.
Thank you, thank you. Oh my God, thank you, Stacey. You know, man. Man.
Always,
Oh yeah.
man.
Yeah, thank you for your input and everything that you bring. Next week I will not be here on Tuesday because next week is a federal holiday. It is my birthday, September 16th.
Hey,
Did you
The
say
big
a
four.
federal holiday?
Federal holiday. That means it's everywhere. Everybody get the day off next week too.
No,
It's my
no, that's the
birthday.
day off. Okay, wait. What
Come
day?
celebrate with me.
What's that? Next Tuesday, I'm off.
Next
Alexa,
Tuesday,
you
All
gotta
right,
make
all
sure
right.
you got some personal time. Not none of you that
Right.
already used up all that
Oh,
vacation
wait.
time.
Wait, you saying it's not technically a real day off? I got to, okay.
So, but we're gonna come back the week after that. Hopefully, I have Michelle back and Stacey will come back and our
See,
yep.
Look.
And our because I do want to talk about the next time we do meet. I do want to talk about the Office of Safety and Wellness and what that office is supposed to do. I think we need to have a discussion about that.
After 5 employees.
I want to talk about that. I really do. I really do want to talk about that.
well, you know, somewhere in there, just for Travis, you got to throw in that new jobs report.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We
baby.
definitely gonna stick it when he comes. When he comes next
Because I
time.
know you watching.
Oh, yeah,
I know
Travis
you
definitely
watching. You know, you
He
in your
watching.
little cave. Hold up.
He watching.
Bro, I need you to explain them 911,000 jobs that
Please.
did not happen.
Please.
Who gonna get fired now?
So we're gonna start off with that on the next show, and then we're gonna somehow
It's the
segue into
economy,
it.
stupid.
Right. But hey, thank y'all. Facts over feelings. Love y'all. Be blessed. Stay blessed. Be safe out there. And remember, your vote does matter.
Of course. Salute,
Yeah.
salute.